Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Just imagine this for a second. A young boy sleeps for a decade, literally doing absolutely nothing, but then suddenly wakes up having inherited decades of grueling, relentless sword training from a mysterious dream. Right? It's an absolutely explosive hook. Today, we're unpacking the incredible chronological journey of Eren Pereira. We're going to look at his story of deep trauma, just unimaginable effort, and his ultimate battle to actually find his true purpose.
Now, to really understand Eren, we've got to look back at his past. For exactly 10 years, Eren Pereira stayed in bed. He even earned this super humiliating nickname across his territory, the Lazy Noble. But here's the thing, it wasn't just simple laziness. After witnessing the incredibly traumatic death of his mother at a really young age, his whole world just shattered. His way of coping? Shutting down completely. He did nothing but eat and sleep for a whole decade. He was essentially trapped in this dark swamp of his own despair.
Which leads us to the turning point of this entire story, the 50-year dream. Okay, let's dive into this timeline. Eren is haunted by this vivid, grueling dream of a mysterious, nameless man swinging a heavy sword relentlessly. We're talking from sunrise to sunset, every single day, right up until his dying breath. So Eren wakes up and his body feels like it's literally screaming at him to move. His mind is just riddled with anxiety. To quiet his racing thoughts, he walks out to the training grounds and lifts this massive, heavy wooden sword. Day 1, he completely collapses, but he comes back. By day 4, the entire noble house is in absolute shock, seeing him out there every day. And by day 15, he's pushing past limits his frail body shouldn't even have, mimicking the exact heavy swings of the ghost from his dream, just trying to find some peace.
Chapter 2: The Chrono Sword Academy.
So, a wandering knight spots Eren's iron will and manages to secure him a spot at this brutal, elite proving ground. And you have to notice the stark contrast here between our protagonist and his peers. On one hand, you've got Eren, an effort-driven novice with zero prior experience. During the preliminary physical runs, he pushes himself so hard he literally collapses and vomits, coming in dead last. On the exact opposite end of the spectrum is Ilia Lindsay. She's a natural-born prodigy, the continent's second greatest genius, totally mastering her family's legendary swordsmanship and effortlessly taking first place in every single test.
But despite his physical shortcomings, Eren's true character really shines during the brutal midterm evaluation. They're in this grueling multi-stage race, and a fierce, hot-headed plebeian student named Judith cramps up during the swimming portion and actually starts drowning. Without even hesitating, Eren throws away his own midterm ranking to pull her to shore. Later on, he explains it so simply. His family dragged him out of his own dark swamp, so it was only right that he pulled someone else out of theirs. And this incredible, selfless act, it earns him the direct attention of the school's headmaster, Master Ian.
This actually builds into a really unexpected dynamic. Eren's grit leads to the formation of this unlikely training trio. First, we have Bart Lloyd, an initially arrogant noble desperate to surpass Ilia. Then there's Judith, the fierce plebeian with a massive chip on her shoulder. And of course, Eren. Now Bart realizes something totally terrifying about Eren. The boy possesses an unbreakable 100% density level of concentration during his unique meditation. By training together, these three push each other to phenomenal new heights.
Chapter 3: The Final Evaluation.
Fast forward through months of grueling effort. We're talking 90 days of intense preparation leading to a single moment where the students have to demonstrate their absolute maximum potential in front of Master Ian and all the instructors. So what does Eren choose to display? While everyone else is showing off these complex, dazzling techniques, Eren just announces he's going to perform a simple vertical strike. The crowd is super confused, but Eren enters a deep meditation, perfectly synchronizing his mind with the man from his dream. He unleashes a single, devastatingly heavy vertical strike, and the sheer force of this basic move literally shatters the arena floor. It creates a massive fissure and leaves the entire academy in jaw-dropping silence.
That single, arena-splitting strike is so profound, it earns Eren second place overall in the entire academy. He falls just short of the untouchable Ilia Lindsay, who, by the way, summoned a literal tornado with her family's divine swordsmanship. But come on, for a boy who stayed in bed for 10 years, second place is nothing short of a miracle.
Chapter 4: A Sword Without Purpose.
Now here is where the story throws us a massive curveball. Despite this monumental success, Master Ian calls Eren into his office and delivers a shocking verdict. He refuses to make him a formal, full-time apprentice right away. Instead, Ian asks a question that pierces right to Eren's core. Why do you swing your sword? See, Ian saw the truth in Eren's strike. There was no personal emotion, no joy, no personal sorrow. Eren was merely acting as a perfect mirror, just imitating a ghost from his dreams. He had the technique and the willpower for sure, but he completely lacked his own true purpose for fighting.
Master Ian recognizes that staying at the academy would honestly just turn Eren into an empty shell, so he gives Eren a temporary token and a strict one-year deadline. He tells the boy to return home, interact with the world, find his own personal reason for wielding the sword, and only then come back to claim his place.
So, Eren returns to his family territory, and obviously his family is overjoyed to see him healthy and strong, but the peace is pretty short-lived. During a gathering, he's confronted by a hostile neighboring noble, Reincarnated, who tries to humiliate him into a duel. Eren accepts. But instead of a drawn-out fight, Eren channels his immense focus. Get this, from 5 meters away, without their blades ever even touching, Eren uses pure aura and intent to shatter Ryan's sword right in half. He completely overpowers his former bully, cementing just how much he's grown.
Chapter 5: Awakening the Mystic Arts.
Following that wild display of power, the story expands its lore significantly with the arrival of Ruru, this mystical talking black cat. Ruru immediately senses a monstrous hidden potential radiating from Iron and introduces us to the concept of the mystic arts. To ground this for you, standard aura comes from training the body, and magic comes from studying nature's logic. But the mystic arts, they completely ignore the laws of the world. It is a reality-bending power that takes a person's sincere will, their most unbreakable desire, and basically forces the world to make it real.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how Iron approaches his next hurdle. Ruru gives him a 3-step guide to awaken this power. First, form a sincere desire. For Iron, it's to protect his family and stop being a burden. Second, perform repetitive actions to solidify that belief. So Iron begins swinging his sword 1,000 times a day with pure, deliberate intent. Finally, eliminate all doubt by relying on the trust and faith that his family and friends have placed in him.
Chapter 6: The Inner World.
Eren's overwhelming focus and pure desire trigger a massive magical phenomena. Right there in his courtyard, Eren becomes encased in a giant, glowing pearl of pure mystic energy. He physically vanishes into his own subconscious and awakens inside what's called the inner world. This is an isolated mental space dictated entirely by Eren's will. I mean, if he wants it to be spring, the weather changes. If he wants new clothes, they just appear. It's like the ultimate hyperbolic time chamber. Here, he can train endlessly, unbothered by hunger, thirst, or physical limitations.
The chronological progression inside this inner world is just staggering. On day 1, he briefly encounters the man from his dream before the man vanishes. Then Eren starts grinding. By day 5, he is perfectly executing 6,695 heavy sword swings a day. He does this for months upon months. But then we jump to day 624, and we see Eren hit an absolute devastating mental wall.
What you really need to take away from this is the deeply relatable emotional crash Eren experiences here. With the dream man totally gone from his mind, Eren realizes he's just swinging a piece of metal in an empty void. He hasn't found his path. He's just lost the ghost he was copying. Having lost all his motivation and realizing the emptiness of his actions, Eren gives up. He actually reverts to his darkest coping mechanism, getting back into bed and sleeping for nearly 100 days straight in this mental realm.
The tension here reaches a boiling point. He's trapped in his own mind, fully prepared to sleep forever and never return to the real world where his family is waiting. But just as he's slipping away into permanent apathy, the door to his mental cabin suddenly swings open.
An absolutely impossible visitor arrives. It's a mental projection of his ultimate rival and friend, Ilya Lindsay. She marches right into his room, completely ignoring the rules of his isolated mind, and drags him out of bed. She tells him it's time for their morning run, point blank refusing to let him quit on himself and rot away.
Which leaves us with this final, really provocative thought. Eren possesses this reality-bending focus and a body forged by the dreams of a ghost. But how will Eren forge his own path when the ultimate battle is against his own mind? Can this mental projection of Ilya actually save him? Or is he doomed to sleep forever in a prison of his own making? That right there is the beauty of this story. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep wondering, keep striving to find your own path, and I'll catch you next time.